is finally open. The rain and wind stop blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. Let go of your umbrella, 'cause darling, I'm just trying to tell ya that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Yeah, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. It'll all be alright. One more short one. Okay. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable and the end is right. I hope you have the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang it on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories in dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, and the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, and the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Please stand for our opening procession.
Melakomo, e hea e ke kanaka, e komo wā loko, e hā nai ai, a hewa kawaha, e ano kukala o ka leo, a he leo vai no e hiki ana mai, e.
You may now be seated. We would also like to extend an additional mahalo to the staff and community volunteers from Olelo Community Media. They are present in the house today and will be recording our program, which will be rebroadcasted at a later date. As a reminder, we ask our guests to stay off the blacktop until the end of today's ceremony. Mahalo.
Aloha and welcome to our 8th grade promotion ceremony. My name is Chastity, this is Micah, and this is Ku'u. And we are your hosts for today's celebration.
Thank you all for joining in person, tuning in virtually, or with us in spirit. This year, our theme, Kulia I Kanu'u, was said to be the motto of our beloved queen, Kapiolani, who was deeply committed into the health, education, and well-being of the children of Hawaii.
What a fitting theme for our Hamana as they embody overcoming challenges, setting goals, and preparing themselves to continue on this learning journey.
At this time, we would like to invite Kumu Kawana to open today's event.
All right, aloha mai kako, parents, welcome, faculty, and most importantly, the students at Kamalani Academy. As most of you all know, the majority of this class have been together for the last 5 years, since 4th grade. Several students, of course, have been adopted as recently as this school year, and each and every one of them have been embraced and will forever be a part of the Kamalani Academy Ohana. 5 years. That is a long time, especially when you think about the reality that they will be done with high school in 4 short years. And students, yes, you are all graduating from high school in 4 years. Yeah. Looking at these last 5 years, there were and continue to be the hardest years in terms of development, growth, and maturity. But when I look at this group, the hard parts of the last several years have dissipated. Students, when I look at you, I see compassion, I see perseverance, I see your individual struggles, and I see the strength that you guys had within yourself to overcome those struggles. I see all the memories that you guys made, good and bad. And more importantly, I see what you guys will become. Parents and faculty, look at your 8th graders, your 8th grader, and take a moment and envision with me. I see our future leaders. I see our future contributing members of our community. I see the mistakes they will make, and I see them learning from it And I see these students continue to be surrounded with each of our love and our support. This year, we embrace Olelo no Eau, Kulia Ikanu'u, to strive for the summit. Now, Haumana, whatever your summit shall be, when you get there, enjoy the view. You've earned it. We are truly proud of your accomplishments thus far, and we wish you all the best on your next journey. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Kumu Kawana, for your beautiful remarks. Now we would like to introduce our student speakers, Lily and Cyrus, as they share some of their favorite memories as Kamalani Academy students.
Aloha, aloha everyone. My name is Iris Alalima.
And my name is Lily Clark. Thank you for coming out to support us this evening.
It is an honor us to welcome students, parents, family members, and staff this evening for the last time as middle school students.
We would like to talk about the life lessons and memories we have gained here at Kamalani Academy, as well as what we hope for our future as we prepare to move forward on our next journey to high school. Entering middle school, we were so excited to learn and do things that came with getting older. For example, the Camp Erdman Traditions trip that we were supposed to go to that year. Unfortunately, the COVID pandemic hit and our year was cut short. Without knowing we would not be returning to say goodbye to our friends that school year. Returning from 7th grade was nerve-wracking due to the fact that we were getting a new teacher and schooling would be different. This included blended learning, mask wearing, talking to our friends behind plexiglass, standing on yellow dots, and most importantly, no field trips. We as a class have learned that we are strong and can persevere through any challenges we come across.
Advancing into 8th grade, we were elated to be together to experience a new normal school year. We looked forward to this year's Makahiki, Spring Carnival, May Day, and especially 8th grade's tradition trip. We have always been a close-knit class. I would have to say that our tradition trip was my favorite field trip. It was here that we created tighter bond as a friend. We had so much fun, from sleeping on a rooftop, sleeping in the wrestling room, while the girls got sleep on a comfy beds with a beautiful view of Kona, to hiking, swimming, eating shave ice, and playing beach volleyball. Everything we got together to talk about what we learned and our favorite activity of the day, as well as reminisce about our time with Kumu Jordan. This trip is one of that will be forever remembered. Thank you, Kumu Jordan, for stepping up to the challenge of teaching and taking care of us hard-headed kids.
Some of us have been here from the beginning, 4th grade. This year, 2022, we get to graduate together.
We have gone through Kamalani's growth, and we were taught by several wonderful teachers.
Kumu Jordan is our favorite. We have met new people, tackled new challenges, and we learn new things. Most important of all, we mature together.
As we step into the next phase of our lives, we encourage you to be the best version of you. And we want to end it with a quote from inspiration from us, or inspires us. Jeff Albert. There's going to be tough times for sure. You just got to push through and endure, and you'll see the sun at the end of the rainbow.
Thank you, parents, siblings, faculty, and staff of Kamalani, fellow classmates in Kumu Jordan. Lastly, congratulations to our graduates, Kamalani Academy
class
of 2022.
Mahalo, Lily and Cyrus. As we move forward with today's ceremony, back? Oh. Mahalo, Lily, and Cyrus. As we move forward with today's ceremony, we would like to welcome Kumu Jordan to the stage to announce our 8th graders as they walk across the stage to receive their certificates.
Aloha kako. My name is Kumu Jordan. Thank you for coming. This is my first stand-up set, so thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Okay, make them laugh. So you're nervous. All right. One time I heard that the difference between being nervous and excited is just all in your mind, right? It's the same chemical release, but it's all how you look at it. So I think right now I'm just really excited. So 2 years I've been with these wonderful students. I wouldn't trade anything for the world for this experience. It's been amazing. Every day has been awesome. I love my job. To me, being a Kumu is probably one of the most fulfilling things that I can think of. To me, it's my purpose. When I was younger, I was kind of not a bad kid, but I was a rascal. Maybe my mom would say different, but I had a teacher in middle school who I felt like actually really cared about me. Whenever something happened at school, it was always me and my friends that got called into the office. So I thought that everybody, sorry, I thought that everybody at the school hated me. So having that one person there, that teacher who took the time and really got to know me as a person, it showed me value, and that's what I wanted to be able to provide for not just these kids, but for any of the kids that I happen to work with. So this teacher actually ended up getting cancer a couple years ago, and within a week he had all the money donated to his GoFundMe for his surgery from all past students, friends, family. So seeing that and seeing how much of an impact he made, I was like, oh wow, like that's seems like a purposeful life. That's something that I would like to do with my life. So I've seen them grow over these 2 years, discover who they are, who they want to be, their inner strength and their courage, and the mana that they all possess. To be honest, it's kind of selfish to say, but I think the best part about being a teacher is what I learn and what I experience from these students. Because every day they actually teach me, and they actually help me become a better person. And I don't know if they realize it or not, but they're all very important and special in that way. So there's a song that I really like called Pepeha. It's actually partly in Maori, but the lyrics go, ko mana toku manga, ko aroha te moana, ko whanau toku waka, ko au etu atu ne. And basically, pepeha is how you introduce yourself when you introduce yourself to people, right? So you introduce your mountain, where you're from, your ocean, your family, because when you introduce yourself and when you represent yourself, it's important to remember that you represent everybody that comes before you and everybody that's going to come after you. So mana is my mountain, right? That's where you get your strength from, the mountain that your family lives under. Aroha is my sea, so love is my sea, right? We all need to keep love and compassion in our heart. And whanau is my waka, right? Your family is your canoe. So as you travel through life, your family is supposed to be, oh, thank you. Your family is supposed to be your canoe that helps carry you through life. And that's something that I try and instill in them, and I want them to all remember as they move on, because all of that makes them who they are. So I'm gonna start by, I'm gonna say a little bit about each student, see if maybe you guys can guess who I'm talking about,
and then I'll invite them up to come get their certificate. So to start it off, so this first student, I feel like he fell into my parents' vinyl collection because in class he's always asking me to play music like The Delegation or like Marvin Gaye or like a bunch of oldies that, you know, stuff my parents like to listen to. On our trip, this guy shook everybody's hands. So we were at the aquarium and I turn around and he's talking to some uncle and like introducing himself, introducing the school, like shaking hands. And I think that's super important because he's outgoing and he shows respect to basically everybody that he talks to. I also learned that you can learn a lot through rap music. So this student's pretty intelligent. He likes to rap. And it's because he's such an intellectual and such a smart person. And then what I learned from this student is to be creative in my teaching, and not everything has to be by the textbook. I also learned a bunch of new dance moves too from him. So Dylan Victor Dilwith. Oh, grab this for me. Sorry. This is my first time doing a graduation ceremony, so bear with me, please. I got you. Thank you. You can just put it on the stuff for me, underneath here. Put it right. So, oh, here we go. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you, Dylan. So this next student, I'm probably going to give it away with the next two words. You guys probably guess this. Dirt bike. Me and this student, we have a bond because he reminds me a lot of myself. I know he has so much going on, firing in his mind, and he wants to share everything, and hyper-focus is the name of the game for him. I know that if it's something that he enjoys and he likes, he'll dedicate his full focus to it, and he'll explain to you the whole history, how it works, and you know, even more than that. If he's interested, you'll definitely hear about it. Rylan Chandler. All right. This next student, I might also give this one away too. His favorite question is why, or when are we gonna use this? I swear every single time that we're working on something, that's his question that he asks. We'll be doing math and he's like, why do we need functions? And I'm like, I don't know, in math, in history, in high school, you're probably gonna have to use it. But I'm glad and I encourage him asking these questions because it's important. It's important to fully understand why, why we're doing these things sometimes. This student also possesses amazing emotional intelligence. He's the quote master. So we do quotes. We'll put a quote up on the board every morning, and then we'll write about it and then share our thoughts. And the student is usually, if not always, the first person to raise their hand. And they'll usually have something to add that I didn't even realize. So I'm usually over here like, okay, that's good. Write that one down for later. And then I also don't want to say too much about this student, but his story is actually pretty inspiring me. And he inspires me to continue to be a courageous person. From him, I always learned to look at both sides and talk to both sides first before you make your opinion. Zyler Kai Ho'o Po'omai Kai Carvalho. This next student, we know her as T to the fourth. She's very, very sweet and caring. She always asks to carry my books or asks how I'm doing. And it's like, I'm always asking how people are doing, but who asks the Kumu how they're doing, right? She's always asking me to play volleyball, even though she likes to hit the ball at me as hard as I can, because she knows I'm not that good. But I can't wait to see her play in high school and hopefully college. And something that I learned from this student is when you believe in yourself and you persevere, you'll actually surprise yourself with what you can accomplish. Talia Toavalu Totavale Tatupu. So this next student, he's also a lot like me. I think that's why we bonded. He's a complete egg, just like me. Have you ever tried to discipline someone and then they make you laugh, like bust out laughing? You're like trying to tell them not to do something and then they crack a joke and you can't help but smile. Well, I call on this student all the time and I'll try and catch him like, oh, I know he's not listening. But then he'll respond and he'll share the correct answer and like even more and add to it. So you got me this time, but the highlight for this student actually is his emotional growth. So my students probably are tired of me talking about Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee is one of my heroes. And if you've seen Enter the Dragon, there's a scene where all the fighters from around the world are on this boat, and there's this guy from New Zealand basically trying to cause trouble and intimidate everybody. So he's being mean and getting in everybody's face, and he gets in Bruce Lee's face and he says to him, "What's your style?" And Bruce Lee says, "The art of fighting without fighting." And the guy's like, "What is that?" So he points to an island and he's like, "We'll take this raft over there and we'll fight." So the New Zealand guy gets in the raft, and then Bruce Lee lets out the rope, and then he hands the rope to all the servants that the New Zealand guy was making trouble to. And then the guy's floating around in the boat, it's getting dragged behind, and he's trying to get all the water out. And that's the art of fighting without fighting. And I think that the student really embraced that, because when they came to school, if I would say something to them, they would get very emotional. But within weeks of being here, he really took charge of that, and I'm honestly very proud, and I would give him the Bruce Lee Award, which I just made up today. Avea Ras Watene. Yeah, I'm a Maori. Yeah, you. So this next student, when she came to the school, her mom let me know that she was extremely shy. And the first day she seemed very shy. I don't know if that was a joke or not, because by the next day she was friends with everybody. And whenever we had somebody new in the class, she was the first person to introduce herself and to let it be known who she was. So, not to get too sappy, but when we were on our traditions trip, the student actually came to me and told me they were working through some emotional stuff. And I told them that I actually got heartbroken before the trip. And this was the most, thank you. This is the most hallmark moment. She looks at me and she says, "Kumu, why would anybody ever break your heart? You're amazing." And I was like, oh my God, my heart hurts. But I think that story perfectly embodies this student. There's so many times where she comes up to me and she's like, "All right, we gotta talk, Kumu. or she'll just come up to my desk and just randomly give me a high five. So from this student, I learned that when someone is sharing, you take the time to stop what you're doing and dedicate your full attention to them and to be present for them. Hi'ilani Tiara Muraki Baptiste. All right. Have you guys ever seen anybody walk fully clothed into the ocean? Like socks, shoes? Because I have. The student is an absolute character. You wouldn't realize it because he's extremely quiet, but don't let the quietness fool you because he's actually very intelligent, very thoughtful, and very clever and smart. I learned that being vulnerable and being goofy with a student can be your greatest tool to help them sometimes. Also, I'd like to award the student the Sleepiest Boy Award because if you turn around for a second, he's asleep. Jaden Kiave Mitehara. Oh, the long way. All right. This student, also known as Brother Man, or everyone's favorite uncle. The story of this kid is tenacity. Everybody says it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, it's about how you get up. I think this student embodies that perfectly. I've seen them get down on themselves before, and it's only because they really care and they really want to learn something. But he doesn't get down on himself and sit there and complain. He gets down on himself and he decides to do something about it. So there's plenty times where during lunch, during recess, he'll sit with me and he'll work on a problem that he didn't get from before until he gets it. And I really respect and value that a lot. And I'm very proud of him for that. And he's also probably the best Call of Duty player that I know. Racing Chase Samuel Simeon Nuhulu. Yeah, bro. I'm just gonna give this one away. Yeah, bro. Leadership defines this student. This student knows how to stand firm on his values. I really don't know, and you can tell me how many kids you know could be playing a basketball game and see an auntie carrying something heavy and just stop what they're doing and then just run over there and help them. No one says anything, no one tells them to go do it, just stops because he knows it's the right thing. I think that's a value that everybody should have and can be few and far between sometimes. Also, he babysits his sister all the time, and I've literally never heard him complain once about it. I'll come in and I could come, maybe other people might disagree, but I could come in from a day at the beach, like on an off day, and he'll be here, and I'll be like, oh, you seen the waves, and you were at the beach, and he's like, no, I'm watching my sister. And he's like, oh, maybe I'll go tomorrow. And I really respect and value that a lot because I don't know if I would have done the same as a kid. But from this kid, this student, this young man, I learned the value of community and family and how important it is to help out even when you're not asked sometimes. Also, let me know when we're going to Sandy's. Huh? Zyrus Tamo Makoa Kapunui Ala Lima. The Dawn. I haven't seen a middle schooler goal set or grind quite as hard as this guy. When I tell you that this guy broke iReady, I mean he literally broke it. There was no more lessons that that iReady would assign him. I'm pretty sure he had like at least 5 lifetimes of practice work on iReady by the end of the year. But I'm so proud of the hard work that he puts in and how much he's grown. I've only known him for 2 years, but it's been insurmountable, the growth that I've seen from him in those 2 years. I also like to play this game with him in class. He's our resident historian. So I like history, and so I try and challenge him and see if I can come up with questions that he might not know. So I could ask him like something random about the Treaty of Versailles, something we never even studied. And he'll give me like a 100-word essay on this and more. So I'd like to call up Xavier Hitoshi Nasian Usugi. Yeah! Yeah! Hey, I'm proud of you. Take it back. All right, this next student is the Gentle Giant. He's thoughtful, polite, funny, and caring. He embodies Fa'asamoa to a T. This guy, when his classmates are having a hard time, he goes and he takes them out to lunch, he takes them out to dinner, he pays for them. One time, all the boys went to go to one of the houses to work out after school, and they all left, and he comes back into my class, and I'm like, oh, didn't you go with the boys? They left already. And he's like, no, my friend is still here waiting to get picked up, so I wanted to stay so he's not alone. And I was like, I don't know if I would have done that as a kid. That amazed me. I was like, that's the most like thoughtful thing that that you could do in that situation. Yeah. He taught me the importance of friends and how friends are family and how important that family is. So, Ferdinand Don Frederick Fa'asu'u.
Hi, Mom!
Yeah, you. So the first thing that comes to mind when I think of this student is emotional intelligence, creativity, and outgoingness. This person really has no fear with being themselves and opening up to others, and I think that's really refreshing. She's 100% herself. She's a take it or leave it kind of person, and I think that's really important and hard to come by. What I learned from this student is nobody can be better at being you than you. Betty Jane Cahill. Congratulations, Betty. You did it. So our next student is our resident astronomist, our future kinesiologist, personal trainer / athlete. All of that at once. This is another student like me. I'm glad that he found a passion this year, passion in training and kinesiology. It made me feel special because I really didn't have that much of a focus or a path when I was younger. And then when I found it through kinesiology and teaching, I was able to really focus in and make something of my life. So seeing the student find their passion and something they're so serious about was really inspiring to me. If this student ever needs any advice, campus tour, course prep, anything, let me know. Because you taught me that the best thing that you can do for a student is to guide them. Find out where they want to be, and then figure out the best way to support them in that endeavor. Tyler Lohea Payne. Mr. Cool. A new pair of socks for every day of the year. My favorite thing about this student is not only how crazy smart he is, but also how well-rounded he is. He's got good style, he's athletic, he's funny, and he, for some reason, likes to turn my Google account pictures into like Photoshop backgrounds. He's usually the first to finish in the class, but the most important thing is when he's finished, he'll go around and he will help any of his students that are still working. And he taught me that it doesn't matter how impressive you are at something. What really matters is if you're able to be good at something and then elevate everybody else around you to be just as good. Kalel, Akhenaten, Logo, Ita, Ieo, Malo, Tamotoa, Jones. Yes, sir. Yeah, you did. Mr. Cool. So this student loves DJ Noise as much as me. Probably one of the most mature students that I've ever had. There's times where the classes may be off task a little bit, and I'm trying to get them to focus, and I could look up and I see the student like full on like migraine like an adult. She's extremely intelligent, well-spoken, mature. We bonded over my love of Tongan music and Tongan culture, and I can't wait to see her play ball on TV. From this student, I learned how to be a great team player. Amaraya Kasinita Tavale. She's in spirit online. So this next student, we had kind of a rough start. To be honest, I wish that we would have had more time together because I did see a lot of growth from this student. Even in a short amount of time, I saw a lot of maturity from them. Creative, intelligent, and can be very thoughtful. I want you to keep going because you're gonna find your success. You're a great student and you have great value. From this student, I learned patience and to be very understanding. Zachariah, kamea po maikai o Kalani o ke kua I o kepa Silva. Oh, sorry, flying certificate. First day I met this student, I asked her to do something like, I think it was put her book away. And she told me that I was gonna ruin her day. And I was like completely blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? But over time, we became really close. I found out that initially it was because she was looking to see if I was an honest person. And if I was a good and trustworthy person. I felt honored that she opened up to me and became close to me. We had a lot of amazing talks, and I honestly hope she understands and she realizes the capability that she has. Caring and thoughtful, and probably the most favorite person for lower elementary. I promise you, the kindergarten and first grade would ask me if she could come work with them every day. From this student, I learned the importance of building a rapport first. Jessie Marie Salentano. This next student, unfortunately, I didn't get to know too long because he was only here for a short while. He is the master of Minecraft. He learns literally everything about Minecraft. For better or for worse, I told him that I play sometimes with my friends. So every single chance he had, he would just talk to me about Minecraft. But I really encouraged it because it showed his creative and his intellectual side, his problem solving. And I think that it's an important tool to help with his courage and his self-confidence, so you can really understand how intelligent he is. So from this student, I learned the importance of education through play. Caden James Thorin Tapek. So I always joke about this next student being mean because they're the complete opposite of mean. Whenever the student tries to joke with me and like say something mean, it still comes across as them being nice. It's not believable at all. She embodies the saying quiet as a church mouse, or at least she used to. When she came to the school, when she was in my class for the first time rather, I could not get her to talk. So putting her on the spot was the name of the game. Every chance I got, I would just call on her, even if I knew she knew the answer, just to try and encourage her to talk. She's sweet, she's intelligent and thoughtful, and she taught me how to be even more kind and thoughtful as a person. Lily Sumika Pohai Ke Aloha Radvi. This next student is Bob Marley Incarnate. You probably can guess who this is. So when we come in class and we're doing I Ready, every single time before he starts I Ready, I see him go on YouTube and he'll type in something like Old School Green, Love I, or like Bob Marley, like Redemption song. And then he's over there jamming, doing I Ready. I don't know if I've ever seen this kid unhappy before. So I want to give him the Bob Marley Happiness Award. From this student, I learned, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. Kalana, David, Ricardo, Almazli, Ebert. Yes, sir. So, anyone that invests here, you probably understand what I'm talking about. There's days where you look at your portfolio and you've lost money, and some of you guys probably know what that's like. But do you know what it's like to come to school and to have your student remind you that you also lost money? I swear, I'll come in and then I hear, Kumu. Yes? How's your Bitcoin portfolio? I'm like, oh, okay, sit down. But honestly, I encourage it because I don't know many middle schoolers that have that financial intelligence or literacy, so I support it. I'll let him make fun of me for that any day. He's a future millionaire. He's clever. He's business savvy. He's Mr. Wahiwa, so he probably already knows all of you guys or somebody that you know. I learned from this student the importance of having financial literacy. Aiden Rydek Oliveros. So our last student. Student athlete is what comes to mind. I can't wait to see how far you go in football, to see what hat you throw on at your signing. You're polite, courteous, very studious. I'm very proud to have you as a student. And from you, I learned the importance of being well-balanced. Jerome Kaeo Kolani Kualoa Kenichi Nozawa.
You move on.
Yeah, you.
Now that our graduates have received their certificate, they would like to do their May Day Hanaho performance. Welcome them to the stage as they perform Liliue for the last time.
Mahalo, 8th grade.
Congratulations to our promoting 8th graders.
As we close out today's ceremonies, we encourage each and every one of you promoting today to remember and embody Queen Kapiolani's motto, Kulia ika nu'u, never stop striving for the summit. Parents, faculty, and staff, can we please give our promoting 8th graders another round of applause?
Before we leave the stage today, our promoting students would like to extend a very special mahalo for their parents, family, and teachers who helped them to shape them into students they are today. As a final farewell, take care of yourself, your family, and each other. A hui ho and mahalo for joining us.